The most frustrating thing about running a classic Mercedes repair shop. People often ask me, they say, what's your greatest source of frustration? And I tell them, depends on the day of the week. But there's one aspect of doing this which always tends to be a source of frustration. And just when I think that it's not, it is, it can be. So most of the time when you're running a modern automotive repair shop, if you need a part, you call one of several suppliers, and instead of worrying about whether the part is available, you just call the supplier, figure out who has the cheapest good, how fast they can get it there, and then put it in the car. But at this shop, we need multiple parts, many parts, some of which are not available. There's never a job where we replace 1 or 2 or 3 parts, because cars don't really come in for one job at a time. They come in for several jobs at a time. And the worst part of working on some of these cars is that when we can't get parts to them, it really slows down the timeline of each job. That's why, people go to me, they're like, why do you have so many NOS parts? Why do you keep so many used parts? And it's because I don't want to be caught with my proverbial pants down when I have a job that is one part away from completion. So I know I can't, I'm telling you guys this with full knowledge of 2 things. 1, there's nothing we can do about it. And 2, the problem is not going to get any better. But there are days when I just wish, really wish, like praying wish, that I could just call Mercedes and say, I need this part shows up, put it in the car, part is reasonably priced, made in Germany or somewhere near there, part works good, doesn't have to be used, doesn't have to be refurbished. It's just the right part from Mercedes, goes in the car, works, send it on down the road. Imagine if you're also running a shop, does what I do, imagine if things worked like that. Imagine if you could just buy a part, a good part, the real part, the genuine part, the part made by the OEM supplier in the correct country, by the people who designed it. And you could just put it in the car and everything was good to go. The reality of this is that it's not that way. And the biggest challenge about this business is it's never going to be that way, and in fact, it's going to get harder. There's some days where I go to myself, what am I going to do if I can't get this part anymore? How am I going to fix it? Recently we've come to rely more and more and more on adapting parts. One of the reasons why I've had to adapt Denso compressors in place of York compressors is because you can't really buy a good York compressor. You can't buy good parts for a York compressor. The York compressors actually wear out to the point where they can't be resealed effectively, or where you won't know if the reseal actually holds Freon. And so it becomes a question of what can I do to make sure that this car is still working in 15 years. But then what am I going to do if, we're already at a point where I can't just call Denso and get the parts I need either. So it's a tough one. It's a real tough one. I'm sorry. I was sick for like a week and a half over Thanksgiving. That's why my voice is so bad. But I assure you guys I'm feeling fine now. The most frustrating, sad thing about this business is the fact that the economics of time do not favor businesses like mine. I know it's not economically viable for Mercedes or Bayer to make radiators for 300 SDLs. I know it's not economically viable for Mercedes to call TRW every time their stock of upper control arms for 123s goes low. Sometimes we have to wait years for parts to go back into production. Sometimes they never go back into production, like overvoltage protection relays or fuel pump relays, and we're left to fix what's already been made. And then meanwhile, we have customers that are throwing away perfectly good rebuildable parts and putting in a rebuild item from Programma or an item that was made in India in place of their original one. I mean, it's just, I understand that people make these mistakes, but original parts, you know, are so hard to find. I think one of the best examples I have is this. We used to get these glow plug relays that were made in India by, I think they were labeled Hella, but I don't think they were made by Hella, because I saw other manufacturers selling them as well, but these things are made in India. And you could just look at it and know it was inferior quality. And I think even Mercedes for a while was selling these things. So many people took out their old glow plug relays, instead of trying to repair them or recap them or fix the boards in them, they just tossed them and said, oh, this is good enough, because people trust parts suppliers. I have 3 rules. Don't trust the guy selling you the parts. Don't trust the company making you the parts. Don't trust the part itself, if it's a modern manufacturer part, which is why I value NOS parts so much. Because the guy selling you the parts often doesn't have the hands-on experience. So you really can't trust them, because they're not experienced enough to for the trust to be given. You can't trust the manufacturer, because their goal is economics. They're not even testing the part in the car. And you can't trust the part itself, because, the part was designed for your car, but it wasn't actually tested in your car or a similar car. And that's one of the lamentable things about doing this now versus doing it 40 or 50 years ago. There were challenges then too. I mean, the internet has certainly made things easier. I remember one of the best excuses I ever heard was, I can't get parts. This excuse is about as old as Carl Benz himself. But that's not a good excuse. The reason it's not a good excuse is this, because Mercedes still does do an outstanding job supplying parts for their cars. I understand they can't supply every single part, but if I need most of the parts to fix a 30-year-old Mercedes or 40-year-old Mercedes, I can still get them without any problems. Another reason that things are still easier, and yes, you can still get the parts you need or find the parts you need, is because I can't get the parts is actually another kind of excuse. It's, I can't get the parts fast enough, and I'm not familiar with them enough for me to be able to make any money on this job. So, at some point in time, yeah, there are going to be some parts I can't get, and I'm going to have to come up with some difficult solutions, but we always seem to figure out a way through it, thank you God. And there's always going to be another scenario where our patience gets tested doing this. So I still think it's better than being a flat rate mechanic at a dealership. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please forgive my voice in its kind of weakened state. I'll see you guys soon, and hopefully I'll be back to normal.